Initially, like when I hear about people who are saying really bad things about Islam, the Prophet, Allah, all this, obviously one level of me feels angered and frustrated and upset and all those kind of things. But what I try to teach the du'at and try and tell myself as well is that in essence, I actually feel sorry for these people. Right? I feel sorry for these people. Why? Because imagine that the thing that's going to save you from eternal hellfire is the thing that you hate and you think is horrible and wrong and disgusting. Like imagine that was you in that position. Like that's such a sad position to be in. And it's sad not even from the akhirah perspective. If we just forgot the akhirah and we just said, right, imagine that everyone's going Jannah, or imagine that, you know, we're not going to exist after everything. Like even if you take that out, I'm saying even from a dunya perspective, to live without Islam is so painful. It's so painful. Right? So for someone to think Islam's the worst thing or not like it, it's a very sad situation. What I would do, like in that kind of situation, I would speak to them and I would say something like, you know, there's a person that I was listening to who basically became Muslim, okay? And what he said is, he said, I'm so glad that I learned about Islam before I met Muslims. Okay, like so Muslims are kind of like in a lot of places they're messed up and they do bad things and they're this and they don't really live by Islam. And Islam itself is perfect, it's amazing, and Muslims are imperfect. And so I would go down that kind of route, that maybe you've had experiences like with Muslims, maybe you've met Muslims, maybe this and this and this and all of that kind of stuff. But there is a bit of a difference between what Islam actually is and how people practice it. And depending upon where you've kind of met people, that's going to differ. And then at the same time, I would kind of take some acknowledgement at the fact that sometimes Muslims don't do ourselves any favors and all these kind of things. And I think that the perception of Islam is like really, really, messed up compared to what it is. And it's a very scary thing. So when people actually go to Islam at its core, and they read the Quran, especially someone who's agnostic and, you know, believes in the creator and all this kind of stuff, they get blown away by it and they get taken aback by it. So it's about disconnecting what their experiences of Muslims from meeting not so great Muslims, from the media, which is probably 90% of it, and then trying to connect them to the truth of what Islam actually is, right? One thing I would do is in the dawah, what I try and do is I try and make sure that I'm talking probably half of the time that they're talking. And I'm saying with dawah, it's very similar in the sense that you don't want to keep to. By the way, I'm saying there's a real value to you sharing what you believe with him, you telling him the benefits, you doing all of that. But the way you want to do that is you want to like just give him lots of questions, take lots of interest, understand his worldview, and then just drop bombs, like just like talk in a really amazing way where you just like you haven't said much, you just said a little bit, and it's just made him think, whoa, like think about that. You start speaking and you don't give me a time to like come and speak or say something, you just go off on one and you're going to lose me eventually, right? And I'm saying my ears, alhamdulillah, Allah's given me the ability to listen and hear, and I could pay attention for a long time. But a lot of people are not like that. Like if you just go on for more than 40-50 seconds, some people get lost on that. So you want to make sure that you're spending more time asking questions and grabbing things from them. And then when there's openings and there's times, like you're going off. But then when you go off, you want to go off for like a minute and a half at most, and then leave a bit of a break for him to come in or speak or something like that, right? So that there's that space where, you know, you can get that communication, and that's how connection is going to be improved, inshallah.